Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the start of our mini-series. I know a lot of you will catch this on the replay, so hello. Hope you had a good day. As I said, with my mini classes, I am aiming to keep them really short within 20 minutes because I know we're conscious of time. So the idea is if you catch it on the replay, make dinner, fold the washing and just listen. You don't necessarily need to watch me, but that's the idea, is just to learn a little bit more about your oils. The reason I'm doing a mini series over December and January, because I know how easy it is to forget to use your oils because of the craziness, because of the busyness, but this is the most important time that you actually need to use your oils. Hello, lovely. Hello, Danny, Vicky, welcome. I've had a lot of people that have actually got started, last year, even in December, because they were just, it is a really busy time, but you get to the point where you're just like, I'm over this. I'm over being sick. I'm over, these emotions, these moods, and I'm over not sleeping and things like that. So it's a really busy time, but it's a most important time that we actually use our oils. So I want to go over the absolute basics today. And then next week we are looking at traveling with oils, because I know that a lot of you will be traveling over that holiday period. So today I'm going to touch on, Hillary, hello, welcome. I just want to go over the basics of the top 10 oils, because I know it's super easy to forget what these oils, these 10 oils can actually do. And it is a majority of you have the 10 oils or are slowly building to that. Now, yesterday I sent out the e-news. Make sure you've subscribed. Make sure it hasn't gone to your junk or your spam folder, because this is just the start of the weekly newsletters, and I'm going to be doing some really, really fun giveaways come next week. I'm going to kick it off, okay? And there's going to be an opportunity for 20 people as a way of me saying thank you to come away with a free product. So make sure you're getting the e-news. There is already a chance in there to get a timber wooden box. There's already a chance to get a mystery pack. Make sure you read it, because I'm not going to be posting every little team incentive here in the members group, because we do have a lot of people that aren't in the members group. The other thing is, if I can get my act together and get my little technician, aka Bray, I mean seriously, he knows more about computers than me and he's only 9, he's going to be getting my YouTube channel sorted for me today. So I'm hoping that these mini series as well can go onto YouTube. Then that way too, all the people that don't have access to our private group, because there is a majority that don't have Facebook, they can watch and learn as well through my YouTube. I am in the process of getting my website going, but I am absolutely stuck with it. I'm just like, don't know what I'm doing, to be honest. So I'm waiting to find the right person. So if you know a web designer or anybody that's more than happy to help get my website up and going, I'd love that, because I want a private section for members only. Been sitting on it for about 6 months and I'm just stuck. Anyways, so let's get stuck in and talk about the 10 oils and just the basics of what you can do. As I said, make sure that you've got the refresher sheet that I sent in the e-news. Click on it, save it to your computer, print it out, whatever makes it easy for you to refer to. Save it on your phone if you have to. I don't think I've popped it here in the members group, but I will, I promise. And I do have another sheet that will be coming this week. And what I've got on that is pretty much like a little checklist, because this is when we get, sick and it's a public holiday and you just can't think sometimes, what do I do when I've got a tummy ache? What do I do when I'm vomiting? What do I do, all those things. So I'm going to do up a little checklist sheet for you. Again, save it to your phone, and it's going to help you with your 10 oils as well. And it's going to focus on the 10 oils this week, because that's really, really important. So let's talk firstly about peppermint, because I'm going to go over my 20 minutes and I'm not even timing. Okay, so with our peppermint oil, obviously this is the one that I use for a lot of motivation, get going, get moving. Now this morning my alarm went off at 5:30 and I did not want to get up at all. I seriously, and I'm not a morning person, but I knew I just had to scramble out of bed. I have peppermint beside my bed. And this is all I do, is I lean over as I turn the alarm off my phone. I lean over, I take the top off my peppermint, I let it sit there, because you're actually getting the aroma and it's helping wake up all your senses, because that's what peppermint does. It helps wake up all your senses as well. The other thing that I've been doing with peppermint, I wouldn't recommend it for everyone, but if you want to take a risk, you will get used to it, is I actually put a drop of peppermint onto a cotton bud, which I don't have here, and I then put it just inside my nostrils. Only just, okay? It will burn for the very first time because it's warming, but the advantage of being able to do that with peppermint is that it helps with your breathing, it helps with your oxygen levels throughout your body, and it just helps you wake up. Now, if you follow me on Instagram or my Facebook stories, you would know that every day I go for at least a 20-minute jog, and I've been needing to do that every morning because we're about to hit another cracker of a 40 degrees day, 41 I think, and the air is disgusting. There's a massive fire. I don't think they've got it under control. You may have seen it on the news. I think deep water, which is only probably about 300-400 k's from us, and we have got all the smoke here today, and it is shocking. Bray and Piper, their nose is running, they were sneezing, the air is not good at all. So this is where I love peppermint, okay, to help with the air and to help our airways along with the easy air. So as I said with peppermint, I do it just inside my nostrils when I am really fatigued. 3 o'clock in the afternoon when the kids get home and I just really struggling to scramble, I'll use peppermint there as well. The other thing with peppermint is it is really good for ants. Now we have got 1,000,001 ants, so what I do again is I get a cotton bud or a cotton ball, I put a couple of drops of peppermint, and I put the cotton bud or the cotton ball where the main, what do you call it, main track of where the ants come in. I can't even think of the proper term, you know, for all your ants, or if they're hanging around, they love hanging around our bin. So I actually put a couple of drops of peppermint on a cotton bud, and I sit it behind the bin, I sit it in the doorways, and also on our honey. Our ants love our honey because we use a fair bit of pure honey here. So I will actually sit the cotton bud on top of the honey container, even on hundreds and thousands. I was like, how on earth did you get in there? You know, they just get into everything. So again, I just sit it, the cotton bud on top, and it keeps the ants, it deters them, it keeps them away. But you're going to need to keep doing it regularly. So when I say regularly, every week, okay, change your cotton bud. If you find they're coming back again, it's time to put a couple more drops of peppermint. I mop my floors with peppermint this time of the year. Again, it just gets rid of all the ants and the insects and things like that as well. The other thing with peppermint is it is really good in cooking. Now, with a lot of the teacher gifts and things like that, I actually handmade a ton of stuff. And generally I would do, you know, one little cooking dish, whether it's some gingerbreads, whether it's some Rocky Road, whether it's a chocolate brownies, whether it's truffles, and then I also do a little crafty thing. So this year I'm actually doing up a big paintbrush, and I'm painting it and I'm going to decorate it with flowers. It's just my little sidekick. I love to be a little bit crafty and creative. So that's what I do for my teachers this year, the boys' teachers. So peppermint again in your cooking. Any chocolate is really nice. So that's another great thing that you can do with peppermint. The other thing you want to remember is peppermint if you are feeling hot. So if you've been out in the stinking heat like me and you're like, man, it's hot. You can make this up into like a spray bottle, and you can then just spray yourself down with peppermint because it's really cooling. Now, I don't know what size this is, but it looks like it'd be only maybe 100 ml bottle. I'd only do 1 drop of peppermint. You can then make it into an after sun spray and put peppermint, lavender and frankincense as well, and spray yourself down too. If you're driving or traveling, peppermint is another one that I love to put in the car. Again, if you don't have a car diffuser, go and grab a tissue or a cotton ball and then put a couple of drops of peppermint and shove it into, you know, not too far, but into the air vent, because while your aircon's on, it's going to get that aroma as well. So that's another thing where peppermint is just, it is really good for that sort of thing. And then we get into lemon. Okay, now lemon, of course, is the oil that is actually in here. It's as my air freshener. I clean my windows with lemon. I put just a dash of vinegar in here as well. How many drops of cooking? Great question. When I generally only do like 1 drop of peppermint if I'm in cooking. Lemon, I'll probably do 2 drops, because we've got to remember that the oils, when we're actually cooking with them, is far more intense than if you were to go and grab, squeeze a lemon, I suppose. Because you've got to remember the lemon too is from the rind. The lemon that we squeeze is from the juice. If we look at, say, oregano, this is like hooly dooly. It is strong. I don't even put 1 drop in. What I actually do is I put a toothpick in the top, and then I put the toothpick and swirl it around in any Italian tomato dishes, spaghetti bolognese, lasagnas, and things like that. So I would always go less is more. Wild orange is another amazing one that I love. Again, in chocolate, I've been making like iced coffees, and I put like 2 drops of wild orange in an iced coffee, and it's nice. Peppermint is another option you can use in hot chocolate. Oh, well, you could do iced chocolate. It's too hot for hot chocolate, but iced chocolate, if you make those as well. So I'd only start with like 1 drop, and then see how you go, and add another drop if you want, or in a toothpick. But bear in mind that the flavor from cooking is a lot more intense. Black pepper is another oil that I love, especially because I'm like, I don't want to grab the pepper out and a chew. I just put a drop of black pepper in. So hopefully that helps. So yeah. So lemon, as I said, is really good for cleaning your windows, and a little bit of vinegar in the water. I clean my windows. Also, On Guard is another one that is amazing for cleaning windows and mirrors. The lemon I will also use with my On Guard cleaner or by itself to be able to spray my counters, my bench tops, and things like that as well. And I also put lemon in a drop of my water every single day, whether it's lemon, whether it's wild orange, green mandarin, because what those oils are actually doing is they're helping, grapefruit's another one, is helping gently detox your body. Because especially at this time of the year, we're going to be eating all these foods, we're going to be drinking all these things that our bodies don't necessarily agree with, and it will catch up with us at some point or time. So what we need to do is try and detox and get rid of all that stuff that we've got going on within our body. 2 drops of lemon or a drop of lemon in your water is all that you actually need to help gently detox your body. I'm probably jumping the gun here talking, it's after Christmas, I think it is. Yeah, I'll be talking about weight loss in early January and detoxing your body. You don't want to do it too fast. Okay, you don't want to detox your body too fast. It needs to be slowly. So that's where lemon is really good. It's another great one that'll help your immune system, and lemon also will help you have the energy that you need. So you can pair lemon and peppermint together in a diffuser. You can make it into a roller bottle. You put a drop into your hands, rub it together, and apply it. Whatever's going to work there as well. The other thing that with lemon is you can actually use it to be able to shine your sinks. I know there's one girl here, she shines her stools with lemon, and I always get amazed at, how well she does it. And she just puts a drop or 2 of lemon on a cloth, and then just wipes down the stainless steel bottoms of her stools, because that's where they get the dirtiest, and it just shines really well. So lemon is really good to do that as well. But that pretty much covers mostly, lemon. It is the most inexpensive oil. It's only $13, so you can afford to use tons of lemon because you're going to reap so many benefits from it. Now then we get into, which I'm probably going to start getting confused what I've talked about here, is lavender. Obviously, you're going to use lavender to be able to help you sleep. If you find though lavender's starting to keep you awake, turn to lemon, turn to wild orange, or turn to easy air to help you, sleep if that's what happens. The other thing with lemon is the mozzies and the insects that are out this time of the year. Piper welts when he gets mozzie bites, like really welts big time. So he just goes straight to lavender or even tea tree and just applies it straight to the area of any bug bites. It's going to help with any itchiness. It's going to, hey Wendy, it's going to help with any itchiness, any irritations at all. And as I said, lavender too, if you get sunburnt, you know how your skin can go a little bit dry and peel and it just doesn't feel really good? Actually use lavender, okay, because lavender is incredibly calming for the skin, and it's really good at healing. Scarring you're going to be using lavender. So if, say, there's a little mishap at some point, which can happen, and maybe they've had to get stitches, or you know that, okay, it's likely to leave a little bit of a scar, you can actually pop lavender on. But if the area is covered up, just pop it closest to the area, because it's going to work its way through. And this is what we did with Bray when he had his lung drains in late September. Obviously we couldn't get to that area for, you know, at least 6 to 8 weeks, because he had dressings on it. So we just applied lavender around the dressing, and I just had it in a roller bottle, and we just applied it around the dressing, and the scarring is actually really, really incredible too. The other thing with lavender is you can use lavender and tea tree as a hair detangler, and we had not so long ago in the house our first bout of head lice. We've been so lucky. Bray's in grade 3, so we've never had it in our house. And believe it or not, I'm pretty sure it came from one of the boys from Piper's class, and passed it on to Noni. I got 1 or 2 and haven't had any back. And of course, I refuse to go down the track of putting chemical in the hair, because it doesn't work. Been there, I've seen it happen, it just doesn't work. So I go like all natural. And clove was an oil that I was told to try, along with lavender and tea tree. And you don't want to get it too close to your scalp, because the clove can actually burn. And we just pretty much put it into like conditioner and combed their hair through, and yeah, we haven't had any back. So I'm like, this is like incredible. Eucalyptus is another great one too. I'm getting totally on a tangent here, but the head lice are really prominent this time of the year. I don't know if it's the heat, but they're just in full force, especially in summertime. So lavender is a great one there that you can use too. The other thing too with your lavender is you want to get, and I didn't pick it up, you can get little aluminium shaker bottles. I think they're like salt shakers from Woolies. They're really cheap. Reject Shop, Kmart, if you've got Kmart, we'll have them all. What you're going to do is you're going to put some bicarb, okay, into your little shaker bottle. You're going to put a couple of drops of lavender. Then you're going to shake it all over your carpet, and then you're going to vacuum it. Because what that's going to do, the lavender, not only does it smell good, but it's going to help get rid of all the stuff that can actually live in carpet that we can't see, okay? This is where you've got your creepy crawlies going on. This is where you've got, you know, a lot of dirt and gunk, and you'd be surprised how dirty your mats and carpets actually are, even when you think you've vacuumed. They are disgusting. So what you want to do is put some bicarb into a container, put a couple of drops of lavender, shake it all over it. You can let it sit if you want, for as long as you want, and then just vacuum it up, because the lavender, again, and the bicarb is going to draw out all that yucky stuff that we've got in our carpets. So that's another great thing that you can do with your lavender. Okay, now let's get on to tea tree. Now, tea tree is going to be your oil, or melaleuca, it's exactly the same, is going to be your first aid oil, okay? I don't know why that's not going to work for me now. Hold the bus. Lost my notes here. Okay, so yeah, tea tree is your oil of first aid. So this is where any bumps, any scrapes, if you've got kids, grandkids, or anything that are getting, you know, activities for Christmas like bikes, trampolines, scooters, you name it, and there's likely to be some busters, which will happen, you're going to put tea tree on, okay? Again, you can just put it around the area once you've cleaned it up. The other thing with tea tree is it's high in antibacterial properties. So this is when you do hurt yourself, you can actually grab your tea tree and you can actually apply your tea tree around that area there as well. The other thing with your tea tree is you can pop it on any blemishes that you've got. You can put a drop into your moisturizer, you can apply it, and it's going to help, you know, so that you don't pretty much leave a crater there too. So your tea tree is really, really good there as well. And also for swimmer's ear. Our kids are doing a ton of swimming at the moment because it's just, yeah, hot. And as I said, Piper's prone to getting really sore ears, so we just use tea tree and apply it around the ear and down the jaw. It's pretty amazing. So that's pretty much what you're going to use tea tree. Again, if you take tea tree in your swimming bag and you go swimming, you can grab your tea tree and put it in your swimming bag, because that's when we know we get bee stings and we get all those things that hang around the pools. You can also get yucky stuff happening, like real funky stuff happening with your feet this time of the year. You can actually use tea tree. Okay, again, you can soak your feet in it, apply it directly to your feet. If you've got cracked, dried skin, tea tree and lavender are really, really good there too. And as I said, I love to soak my feet while I sit here, you know, and do computer work or something, and just soak my feet. It's really cooling as well, but you're actually getting some incredible benefits from actually having oils being soaked into your feet as well. Okay, now we get on to one of my favorites, which is a frankincense. Okay, pretty much frankincense is going to do everything. If you know, are in the middle of the night and something's going on, but you can't think what to use, you don't want to look at your phone, you don't, you know, because you're half asleep, just grab frankincense. Whatever's going on, whether it's a tummy ache, whether it's a sore head, whether it's coming down with something, whether it's head tension, whether it's dreaming, whether it's can't get to sleep, okay, you're going to use frankincense. Generally what I do is the area of concern is where I would apply it. So if you think, oh, my tummy just doesn't feel right today, okay, but you're not 100% sure, you don't have to turn to digestion. You can just use your frankincense and you can apply it to your belly. Another great thing that I love with frankincense is I take a drop under my tongue morning and night because it helps my mum emotions, it helps my stress levels, it helps my anxiety, because you would know I am absolutely no stranger to stress and anxiety, and I don't hide it. So I just put a drop of frankincense underneath my tongue morning and night, or any time I'm starting to feel really stressed or really tense or really anxious, I'll use frankincense. The other thing is, if I can't get to sleep, and Bray is the same, we put a drop of frankincense on our thumb and to the roof of our mouth. And, you know, sometimes you've got to maybe do it, you know, twice every 15-20 minutes, but it helps us just my brain to shut down and to go to sleep. The other thing is, if you've got head tension and you start to, you know, get a really achy head, you're going to put a drop of frankincense on your thumb, you're going to hold it to the roof of your mouth, and you're going to do that as often as you need to. You can put it onto your temples and you can put it onto your forehead as well. Frankincense is just your all-round amazing oil. If, for example, you do have a really sore belly and you were like, okay, I really need to nip this in the bud, I'm not feeling so good, what you can do is you can put frankincense on top of, say, Digest Zen, because frankincense helps the other oils work even harder and it enhances them. So you can, that's where frankincense just comes in handy in so many instances. The other thing is, if you were like, okay, these germs, I'm going shopping, these shopping trolleys, I just don't want to get sick, okay? Put frankincense and tea tree, frankincense and On Guard together every single day on the bottoms of your feet, down your spine. There was a little baby in here who was 6 months old, starting at daycare, and normally, obviously, when you first start daycare, it is 90%, 80% chance that they will get everything possible for the first, 6 weeks. It's just generally how it goes. They get all the tummy bugs, they get just everything. We were already doing, this lady, I got her doing On Guard and frankincense daily before she started, and she didn't get anything. So that's where On Guard and frankincense are amazing. But you've got to start doing it every day. There's no point going, uh-oh, I think I'm getting sick. It's too late. You've got to get into a routine of doing it every single day. And this is why I say Noni has never been to a doctor yet except for needles. Piper hasn't been. I think we worked out the other day. Piper hasn't been for 5 years to a doctor, which is unbelievable. Because I use mostly my 10 oils here. And because we use On Guard and frankincense, or just On Guard, or just On Guard and tea tree, or, lemon on the bottoms of our feet, we're in a routine. It takes nothing to pick up a roller bottle and to do it. That's it. But I'm probably touching on immunity with oils. But anyways, that's what you can do with your 10 oils. So frankincense, as I said, is just going to do absolutely everything. And this is why it's worth to me every single penny. Because of the benefits that I actually get from using frankincense. You can put frankincense, peppermint, and lavender together as well, and you've got a really, really good headache blend there too. Now when we get into Easy Air, which I've touched on, is all things respiratory. So as I said, with this stinking air today and the smoke that's hanging around, and it's just disgusting, a lot of people will be struggling with the quality of the air at the moment. So you can actually use frankincense and you can just apply it to your chest. You can apply frankincense down your spine, because we've got to remember our lungs are back and front. your easy air as well, especially when I'm running errands in town. I'm like, go, 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 and I'm going over my 20 minutes. I will actually use easy air to help catch my breath, to help get going. The other thing with easy air is it does have a lot of eucalyptus in it. Now, eucalyptus is amazing when we are feeling really overwhelmed, we are feeling fatigued. You can actually use easy air, a drop into the shower, or just smell it to help get over that whole overwhelmed feeling, because the eucalyptus is really powerful. The other thing with easy air is if you've got boys starting to go through the change of moods and everything like that, because of the cardamom, boys respond really, really well to cardamom. Actually just use, say, easy air and frankincense together. Okay, for boys. If it's girls, you want to be looking at citrus oils such as your lemon, your wild orange, to be able, with frankincense, to be able to support them there as well. So your easy air is just all things respiratory, coughs, sniffles, anything like that. Now I can tell you there's a boy, he must be now 12. He was told that he would need a lifetime of inhalers, and, you know, he couldn't run cross country, he couldn't do things like that. Been using easy air for quite some time, and he actually ran cross country for the very first time last year and was no shorter breath than any other kid, which is amazing, because we used easy air consistently every single day. As I said, Bray was prone to bronchitis when he was born, and he did not have an ounce of it until he got really, really sick a few weeks ago in September with the respiratory issues. But that's pretty much kept it at bay, and now we're back where we should be on an even playing field. So easy air is all things to do with that. Then we get into your digestion. Okay, so your digestion obviously is all things tummy related. Nauseousness, if you are feeling anxious and you start to feel a little bit sick, because when you get really anxious you can feel like you've got a really sick belly. You're actually going to use digestion on your belly to be able to help that there as well. If you've eaten like too much birthday cake, if you've eaten too much takeaway, too much chocolate, too many candy canes, anything like that, you can actually use digestion to be able to help digest it. Noni at the moment is having massive problems with her bowel movements, and pretty much I've got her on a totally different diet to help things get moving, because to be honest, I can't digestion. I will put it on and we will get something, but we're not getting everything that we actually need from her bowels. So digestion is really, really amazing at just helping any movement there. If you get bloated at that time of the month, use digestion. Okay, again, just apply digestion to your belly to be able to help you, and put a drop in some water. It does have a real sort of aniseed taste, but you can use digestion, yes, in there as well. Then we get on to Ice Blue, which is pretty much all things soothing. So if you've slept in a different bed, if you've moved the wrong way, if you've kinked your neck, you've got kids going through growing pains, you've been to the gym, you had a hard day and you're just really achy, restless legs, it's amazing. Last night my knee for some reason was mucking up, and I still can't work out why, because normally it only mucks up when it's likely the change in the weather gets cool. I just know I could have done something the wrong way with my knee. I don't know. It's a really, really like a 15-year-old injury from snow skiing, and it does muck up. I just applied Ice Blue to the area and I was able to knock it off. So Ice Blue is all things soothing there as well. Then we get into, which I've touched on already, with your On Guard, which is all things immune support in being able to stay well, cleaning your house. You can use it if you've got a really, really sore, scratchy throat on the outside, or you can put a drop directly onto your throat. The other thing that I love to do when I do get a scratchy throat is I have a jar of honey, and in it has On Guard, lemon, frankincense, and wild orange, and it's always in the cupboard, because anytime someone says my throat hurts, I'll get a teaspoon of honey and I would just either put it straight into some warm water and sip it, or we just have a teaspoon of honey the way it is. It's raw honey. It's so it's totally fine. So you can do that with your On Guard. You can make up your sprays to clean everything off. As I said, On Guard too, pop it into your toilet to get rid of that yucky smell. Just a drop straight into the toilet. yeah, it's just your all round. And as I said, On Guard is your biggest range within doTerra because it's brilliant. So that's what you can do with On Guard. Then lastly, we get into your oregano. Now you need to remember oil safety with oregano. It's a very, very hot oil. So make sure you are diluting your oregano before you even apply it. I did something really silly this morning. When I'm really struggling with fatigue, or feel like I'm struggling a little bit with emotions, or feeling a little bit overwhelmed, I actually put a drop of cinnamon on my tongue. Now it is really, really intense. I wouldn't recommend it for everybody because it's really intense. It's a hot oil. So silly me, I put a drop on my tongue, and I must have had my hand up around the top of the bottle. Then for some reason I wiped my hand here and my eye, and boy oh boy, it stung. It's a bit like oregano. It was burning, and I was like, ah. So the first thing you're gonna do is I just had a Chuck's cloth and I poured milk onto it, and then I put the milk over the top of my eye and over here, because the milk actually helps draw out the compounds and stops the oils working, and it's really soothing. Don't put water. If you have oregano or cinnamon's another hot oil, clove, thyme, they're all hot oils. If you accidentally get them in an area and you're like, man, that's burning, because that's what I was doing this morning. I was like, far out, that hurts. Don't put water, because water's going to drive it in even more, and it's going to make it worse. Either turn straight to milk and leave it on there, or fractionated coconut oil. I mean, I just automatically go to milk because I find it so much easier to pour milk onto a cloth and put it on here and over my eye, and the sensation does go quite quickly. So that's the same as any irritation. If you apply, say, even lavender, for example, which is likely not because it's a really, really gentle oil, but if you apply it in an area where the skin is not as hard, and you could get a little bit of a red rash, use milk again. So oregano, as I said, is a really hot oil. Make sure you dilute. The more you dilute, the better. So what I'm talking about is 1 drop into, say, a tablespoon of fractionated coconut oil. Okay, that's what I would do. But oregano is the one that you're going to add in with On Guard if you are starting to come down with something and you're like, man, I've got to get on top of this fast. I don't want to get sick. You go to oregano and On Guard, because that's what's amazing for. And as I said, your oregano you can use in your tomato dishes like your lasagna, your pasta, but it is really intense and really strong, so you just want to do 1 drop, okay, or even a toothpick in the top and put it into tomato dishes. So yeah, so that's pretty much the basics of your 10 oils, and pretty much a refresher, because we do forget what these 10 oils are capable of, but hopefully that helps. And as I said, make sure you've got the e-news. If you don't have the e-news, please make sure you go. I posted a link to make sure that you are subscribed to it. Check your junk folders, save the refresher top 10 sheet, save it to your phone, print it out, save it to your computer, because it's really going to help you remember what these oils can do. And I do have a couple of other sheets coming on your 10 oils to just make life easy, and I hope it is making your life easy. Feel free to share if you've got an idea and you think, man, that would make my oil, using my oils so much easier if I had this. Let me know, because I'll be honest, it's hard for me sometimes to think back to when I first started with oils 10 years ago, what I would have liked. And I still try to go back to your place and go, well, if I was brand new, what would I want to be able to help me use my oils and not get, confused or flustered or whatever. So make sure you share it. And as I said, hopefully that helps understand what these 10 oils can do. If you do have any friends or family that aren't doTerra customers, please let me know, because I do have a separate group where they're going to learn exactly what you're learning. They're going to get this exact same class, which I'll be uploading to that group as well, but they're going to get a few other little extra sneaky things as well. So please feel free to add them into the mini class, because that's what I'm opening it up for non-customers in a private group, because you all know that I love teaching and I want to help the helpless mums that we've got. I want to help the people that are really struggling and are just totally over not sleeping, totally over you know, having sick kids. So please share that. And as I said, stay tuned. I do have lots more coming. And next week I will be back and we are going to be talking about traveling with oils. Again, I will have more resources to help you through. So, all right, guys, hopefully that helps. Have a beautiful rest of the day and have a beautiful week. And yeah, if you guys want a live Q&A like this, let me know too. I'm more than happy to jump in later in the week and do a live Q&A and answer all your questions too. So whatever absolutely helps you guys, I'm more than happy to do. All right, take care. See you. Bye.